Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 172. Boats, ships, whatever. Uh, been 2 weeks. Last week I wasn't here because, well, I was in glorious Minnesota, uh, having mid September weather in the month of August, the first week of August. It was crazy. We had, except for 2 days, the highs were like 62 with 15, 20 mile an hour winds and rain, and it was just ugh. But had a good time. Got Reese with us tonight. Um, we also will have uh, McMurray here shortly. He told me he was going to be late. And lo and behold, we've got a Hexy, sir.
Word,
How you doing?
word to your mamas.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you all?
Doing
Good.
well. Doing well.
That's good.
I'm peeling like a lizard on my back.
That's what you get for laying out in the sunlight. Damn Midwesterner with no tan.
I wasn't laying out. I was painting the dock,
Oh,
and
I'm doing good.
I was stupid and didn't put on any sunscreen whatsoever. Didn't wear my hat. I I was foolish. So, real quickly, Reese came in early and said, "Hey, y'all," at like 4:21. He must have been bored. And then Charles comes in just before the show starts at 7:33, saying, "Reese." Telemachus joined us and said, I don't know everything. I just tell everyone I do. Me. What are you gonna do about it? Fight me, bro? Hey, you do you, right? Richard Keenan's in the house. How you doing, Richard? Thanks for dropping in. Scala Gremlin, man, what a week, and it's only Wednesday. I need to find a place that can deliver me 3 fingers of scotch. You know it's been a rough week if you're already looking for 3 fingers. Meandering Mike, greetings everyone. How you doing, Mike? Thanks for joining us. And Nord. Someone put me out of my misery, but my elbows were revolting with tendonitis at the same time. Damn it.
Then do not buy the last gamble because you'll hurt yourself lifting the box. God, that thing is heavy, man.
Nice. Nice. Well, speaking of gaming, just real quickly, you know what I'm going to tell you? Go over to wiley-games.com, get anything that you have not already gotten, and use the code NOTJ. And I don't know if you heard this, Reese, but I talked to Robin, the Baroness, at Battles and Brews, and all of our codes that we give out for people, they've all been equalized out to 20% off, and they're persistent.
Good to
They're not a
know.
one-time deal.
I
We'll
will.
be right back. Be right back.
All right.
I'll have to
So
shout that out next time I put up a video.
yeah, which is going to be what, about a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, who knows when? I've got 3 weeks off. I might be able to knock one out. You never know.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that you're starting in 3 weeks, and you already told them to go kick sand.
I had-
Outstanding. Good for you, sir.
so
Now this is not going to affect November 9th and 10th.
I don't believe so. I'll make
Okay.
it. I'll make something happen. If I need to
right.
outsource labor and have somebody else feed for me that morning, I'll figure it out.
I
There
wanted
you
to
go.
stream, but you don't have the option turned on.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I know. There's some weird place in there you got to turn it on.
No, well, we'll worry about that next time. Anyway, so yeah, wiley-games.com. Even if you have all the rules, they still got all kinds of stuff. They've got mugs and T-shirts and STLs and miniatures and all kinds of stuff. And that 20% discount, not J, NOTJAY, gives you 20% discount every time you use it. Every time you order, you can use that. If you don't feel like using it all the time, you can use Reese's code, which is
R Crawford 23, I believe.
there you
So
go, Crawford 23. If it's not R Crawford 23, try R Crawford 24. Whatever. And if that doesn't work, just use not J. Um, so then also, you want your miniatures to look really good, like outstanding. Like these are just literally all I did was spray them matte olive green and use the Agrex Earth Shade, and then mounted them on the bases and dragged them through my Geek Gaming Scenics base ready material. This is the Geek Gaming Scenics Fast Drying Basing Glue. You don't have to use this stuff, but it's really, really good. So go check them out, geekgamingusa.com. Get your bag of goodies. You will not be disappointed. Makes your crappy models look good, your good models look great, and your great models look outstanding. Do it.
and
So,
put some offensive note in the comments towards
yeah. Let McMurray know that you're ordering, and he won't send you a banana, but he might send you like a little airplane. Who knows? Or just a note back. Nordic says, I hurt myself lifting a tissue. Nice. Start working on a project that I put away my 28 millimeter Napoleonic Prussians. Glue the heads on. And I'm thinking after experimenting with paint, I may need to reprime them in a different color. Sometimes that happens. Nord says, Hexy, is the last gamble the definitive bulge game?
And I replied,
Won't know until December. All right. The Axis took Derna and are surrounding to Brook. The Commonwealth has a huge force stuck into Brook now. Outstanding. Would the basing make unpainted miniatures look crappy? Yes, it would. Excuse me. Mike says, need to find my toothpicks. Got to glue stuff. There you go. Scallop comes in and says, Agrax is awesome, but Army Painter's military shade is friggin' perfection for any green or drab-based colors. Okay. I'll need to check that out. I need to go grab some of that then. And Nord, Chris, what color did you prime them? I used the Krylon. I think it's Krylon. Hold on. I got it right here.
he was asking Chuck.
Oh. I thought you said Chris. Oh, well. I'm going to tell you anyway what I used.
Yeah, that military shader is pretty awesome. Got some right here.
So, no, it's the Rust-Oleum Camouflage 2X Ultra Cover. Now, this is their Army Green, which is like the light green.
With their deep
I
forest green.
used. Oh no! Here it is. Is this it? Yeah, I used the forest green.
Army's not bad. I've got a
So
couple-
if you're wanting to do British or Soviets, this is the green you want. If you want Americans, this is the green you want. Stuff is amazing. It literally will stick to anything. So yeah, it's good stuff. Rust-Oleum, great primer, and it's like $7 at Walmart. It used to only be $5, but everything's going up, right? So yeah, sprayed the tanks, hit them with that Agrax, and now I'm going to go check out the Army Painter stuff, and they look Good enough. I mean, for 3mm, you're not going to get much more detail than that, right? Charles says they are white, but I took one and reprimed it with a dark blue color. It's outside drying. I'll see how the one finger goes, and we'll see. There you go. Try priming in black and dry brushing it gray over the black and then some white over the higher points. Not too bad of an idea. Too much work. There is that. True enough, yes. Evening. Hello, gamers with coffee. Is it just Ashley? Well, no, it would be Gamers with Coffee Ashley if it was Ashley. So, but one thing I did do while on vacation, and unfortunately, the man wasn't there the day I came by, but I stopped at Little Big Wars there in Fargo, North Dakota. What's that?
That's what I want to hear about.
Picked up. Well, you're not going to like the games because they're airplanes and ships. But I did pick up Cactus Air Force, the Decision games. He's got a lot of the Decision games right there in the rack. At the same price, $14.95. And this, yeah, $14.95 for the little mini game, and then $22.46 for the folio. I picked up River Plate and Denmark Straight. Played both of the games while I was there. Played River Plate through to the finish. And then Cactus Air Force, I just was able to get a taste of it. So yeah, okay. So we got both Greg and Ashley here. Welcome, guys. Did not drive through your part of the country to get to Minnesota this time because we had to drive to Kansas City first to drop off the dog and then drive north. And then on the way back, had to drive to Kansas City to pick up the dog and drive home. Excuse me. They're out on the road listening to us. Well, listen away. Listen away. So while we were up there, in Moorhead, Minnesota, which is just across the Red River from Fargo, is a museum for the Jomkomst, which is a Viking ship replica. And this guy back in 1982 took it upon himself. He was a history teacher or a math teacher or something like that at high school there in the Fargo Moorhead area. And he took it upon himself back in the 1980s to build a full-scale sailing replica of a Viking ship.
Wow.
Not only did he...
Yeah, you posted some pictures. I saw that.
Yeah. Not only did he build the son of a bitch, he floated it in Lake Superior in Duluth. No, that would not be the same Red River from John Wayne, Nord. That Red River is Red River between Texas and Oklahoma. This is Red River of the North between North Dakota and Minnesota. And in fact, it's named Red River of the North until it crosses the U.S.-Canadian border. Then it's just called Red River. But unfortunately, he passed away. The builder passed away before he was able to complete his mission, which was to then sail it through the Great Lakes from Duluth to the western terminus of the Erie Canal, went through the Erie Canal to the Hudson River, sail it down the Hudson River into New York Harbor, and then cross the Atlantic Ocean to Norway. And let me see if I can bring this up and show you. Yeah, I should be able to do this. Hold on. Present, share screen, select what I'm sharing. Here we go.
Some people have too much time on their hands.
So this is it. This is they've got this really cool building built around it. And it was built using. Now, yes, they used electric, power tools, but all of the fasteners were legit, true to life. This is what they used back, 1200, 1400, 1500 years ago. It's called Jumkomst, which is homecoming. It's 76 and a half feet long, 17 and a half feet wide. It took them 32 days to cross from New York to Norway.
Wow.
Oh, so they actually did it then.
Yeah. All the shields are from local community, either businesses or organizations that helped him along with this. So I thought that was pretty cool. So here's a close-up of what the hull looks like. Those are iron rivets that were used to hold the slats to the ribbing. There's your oar holes. Oh, and this here is the inside of a Stav church. So at the same museum outside, they've got a replica of a Stav church from Norway. There's one still standing that was built like 800 AD. And so they went over and they measured everything, and they made a replica of it, 1-to-1 scale replica of that thing, with the same intricacies. This is what they based it off of. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Come on. There we go. So that's what it looks like in Norway. And then this is where they still have Stav churches in Norway. Some very intricate carvings on the inside, and paintings showing different biblical scenes. This one happens to be the Christmas story. The Queen and King of Norway, and then the carving of the face of Christ himself. And just, again, intricate detail work that I thought was really, really quite amazing. That's what it looks like from the outside. It was raining that day, as it was for all but 3 of the days we were up there. And to the Christian church, to get the pagans of Norway to kind of fall in line, they actually used some of their what's the word I'm looking for? Some of their paganistic religious teachings and whatnot to make them feel better. So they used these dragons to help protect the church. And if you'll notice, the shingles look like dragon scales. And that was on purpose. So I thought it was kind of interesting. And then we're back inside, looking at the ship again. There's the rudder. And then this is looking on the inside. They had, I think, 17 people sailed across the Atlantic, and this was covered with a tarp, of course, to keep the rain out. But that's where they lived for 32 days.
I hope they liked each other.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. Oh, and they trailered it from Moorhead to Duluth, then sailed it, like I said, through Hello, McMurray. Sailed
Look at all these guys.
Yeah. Sailed it through the Great Lakes to the Erie Canal, down the Hudson River, and then across the Atlantic. They actually weathered a tropical storm as they were going through. So, and then when they made it to Norway, they made a couple of different stops until they ended up in Oslo.
How'd they get it back?
Oh, they put it on a cargo ship, and they sailed it back on the cargo ship.
Cowards.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. They weren't taking that thing all the way down to the Canaries to catch the wind back to America, man.
No,
Right.
I know. I thought that was kind of funny.
I was about to say, did you guys do the Viking boat first, or did I miss South Dakota?
No, you missed the Viking ship.
Okay, it's
No.
a boat. It's clinker built, and it does not have a hold. It has floorboards in it that they used to stuff crap under. It's clinker built. It's a boat. It has one mast with one spar. It's
And
a
I
boat.
quote,
It is
boats,
mainly propelled by
ships.
oars.
whatever.
Yeah.
No. 'Cause the other thing we're talking about, that's a ship.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Actually,
it is. Actually,
both of
it's
them are
just the
ships.
outline of a ship, but yes, it was a ship at one time.
That's true. That's true. But so, which South Dakota are we talking about here, Chris? The armored cruiser or the battleship?
The battleship.
Oh, all right,
So-
that's fair. That thing's legit. Are we
Yeah.
talking about the proposed South Dakota class or the built South Dakota class?
It was the memorial itself is for the built South Dakota, as you can see here.
Hell yeah.
Got the T-shirt. I went to South Dakota and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
So here's the
Represented
question,
as-
Chris. You gonna start spitting South Dakota facts at us? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I will here in a second. We're going to see. Nord says, imagine how much trial and error went into perfecting that design. I honestly wonder how long it took the Vikings to finally achieve the final framework of the longship.
Oh, I was about to say the final design of from the South Dakotas would have been what, 35, 36 years, Chris?
Yeah,
From Dreadnought
Go-
in 1905.
going from- yeah.
Yeah,
I just
that's
realized.
what happens when you get.
What's that?
I just realized the title of this stream.
Boats, ships.
What the fuck was I thinking?
I was surprised to see you here, buddy. I'm happy you're here, Jeffy, but I was surprised to see you.
Well, he was happy to see that I picked up a couple of Hex Encounter games at our friend
was.
LBW Steve's.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, it's airplanes and ships.
Yeah, but the airplanes are ground-based fighters. That's ground-based
there you go.
aircraft.
Yeah.
It's a hex and counter game, and that's impressive.
They both are.
Yep. Well, one looked like it had squares in your picture.
Well, yeah, it's a square and counter game.
Okay.
Oh, Cactus Air Forces?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say the naval game is hex and counter. Jeff, I think I've played the hex and counter game on your channel before.
You all are going to be so screwed up once I move, and of course I'm going to do a big game first after I move, when within the next year a naval game gets played and then thrown out in the backyard and blown up with a shotgun.
What naval game, Jeffy?
I'm limited to what, 2?
I was about to say, what naval game are you playing? Also, I know you're not going to do that because you don't own a shotgun.
Damn.
Send it to me.
Gotcha.
Send me $20, and I'll send you the video of getting shot.
Pay for the slug to put through it.
If you want it shot with buckshot, we can do buckshot.
Yeah, we need to get effective damage on it when it's done. I mean, I have some games that have naval stuff in them that are, land games, but
correct.
I mean, would that count?
You played Day of Days.
Would that? Well, no. I mean,
Day of
somewhere you're actually moving ships around and stuff. Would that count?
I mean, probably, ish. Like, is there not something in? Oh, geez, what is it? I mean, Vicksburg has ships. Don't you move the ships around in Vicksburg?
I thought those were gunboats.
I was thinking more along the lines of this.
Killers. What's that, Jeffy? Pacific War?
I have thought about getting that just to have it, but I don't know if I can.
What is
it?
If
Chris.
I can spend $120.
Chris, you'll find this interesting. So, a while back here, when I was going through I didn't want to play anything slump, and I would set gigs up and take them down. I set up U.S. Civil War. It's going on the for sale list. I think Hexy realized something that I'm not into freaking strategic level type Civil War stuff.
Yeah.
Because the thing, I don't think I'm into strategic level games at all, to be honest with you.
So, anyway.
That being said, the two Chris got, I've never played Cactus Air Force, but Denmark Strait and River Plate, as well as the other one in the series, Chris, which is Cornell and the Falkland Islands. That's a great system. I really like that system. I'm sad that Decision only put 2 games out in the system, but I feel like we could probably figure out some alternative counters to make things workable.
Sure. Absolutely.
Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I played the River Plate scenario, and I learned that the British need to get in close fast.
Correct.
So.
Correct. The line astern on an interceding course does not work.
Yeah.
You have to understand the idea of acceptable losses and close quickly, or else you're never getting through.
Yep. So it was a fun time. I had plenty of time to sit and play games while I was up there because it was kind of raining and windy and gross for the majority of the time we were up there. We were up there we got in there Saturday, and we left the following week later Sunday, and only 3 of the days we were up there were sunny.
That'll happen.
Yeah, but any day at the lake is better than not at the lake, as I always say. Took Donna out for her first sailing lesson, She's been on sail.
Nice.
She's been on sailboats many times before with me, but she'd never actually taken the tiller and conned the vessel.
There you go.
So we're gonna take a quick look at what Cactus Air Force looks like. So this is pretty much it laid out. It's not a very big game, but it was enjoyable. And then the River Plate book. Oh, that is one of the sunsets looking out across the lake. That's the sailboat that I took her out on, and that's our Glastron speedboat. Yeah, got lots of sunset pictures because they're always so beautiful up there. But let's get back to.
You got a swivel mounted on that boat somewhere?
No, not on that one.
All right, well, win some, you lose some, I suppose.
Yeah, it's only a 16-footer.
Well, yeah, that's why it's a swivel.
No.
Sorry, a swivel gun, not a real gun on a swivel. My bad.
Yeah. Like I said, we went and saw the headwaters of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you need to come to Missouri or to St. Louis and see the butt waters of the Mississippi.
Yeah, I've done that. Thanks. No. The headwaters are much nicer.
Very likely.
Here. Let's go. So that's it.
Reese Poo. Oh, there you go.
So this
Reese
back
Poo,
here,
what are you working on, buddy? Sorry. Disregard. Keep going, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah. So with all the grass back there, that is Lake Itasca, looking to the south and east. Then the rocks here are the boundary between the lake and the river, and this here is the Mississippi River. It flows actually kind of northwest out of the lake and continues north until it gets to Lake Bemidji, where it finally starts to turn east and then finally south on its way to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And this up here is the lake off in the distance, and this is the river. It's like 8-9 feet wide here, maybe 2 feet deep.
Hell yeah.
Right here, its throughput or the lake's output into the river is about 100 cubic feet per second. When the river ends in the Gulf of Mexico, it's something like 680,000 cubic feet per second.
That is
Something
certainly
like-
a much more technical term than I would have put. But yes, it gets big.
Is that,
Yeah.
Are those all people of the Viking clan?
Yes, yeah, these are different northerners. You wouldn't get along with them, Jeff. Oh, picture of a hummingbird. All right. Let me get to.
We're just rambling.
Then we
about
went to
more
Bemidji and saw Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. More pictures of sunsets. I take a lot of sunset pictures. Oh, we went to a friend's place. She's got a little farm. She's right now in the process of tending to a pumpkin that she is hoping to get above 580 pounds. Last year
Just grow your own carriage, huh?
she had a pumpkin that was 860 pounds.
Why?
Jesus.
Why not?
She's always wanted a guest house, Reese, and that seemed like the cheapest way to do it.
You know
Yeah.
what? Have at it.
All right, gents, I got to bounce. It's good to see you. Bye, guys.
Hey, take care, McMurray.
See you. Good to see you, Jeffy, Reese, Chris. Good to see you guys. Later, everybody in the texter. See you, Paulie.
I was just about to get to South Dakota.
I'm fixing to run out too. I got something I got to do before bed. I'll tell you what, I've been going to bed at like 10 and 10:30.
Good for you.
Yeah, because you're old.
Yeah, and still tired as hell when I get up in the morning. Maybe that's the problem. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a little excited about this. I got the word from my neighbor that their movers are coming this Saturday, and that's the apartment that I'm moving into. So I'm hoping that within a week I'll have keys, and I'm like really, really pumped up about that. And I keep looking around saying, well, what do I need to do? It's not like I got to box anything, but like I probably need to take this shelf down on the wall. I need to take my ceiling fan down because that's going with me. And just the little, and I just can't get myself to do it.
Yeah, well, why procrastinate when you can put off until tomorrow?
I agree. You're 100%. All right, I'm bailing, guys. I appreciate it. Good
All right.
stuff. Well, I'm going to listen to you while I'm doing some stuff. So,
All right, take care, buddy.
later.
See you.
So on our drive home, we stopped in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. There's really not a lot in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Place to stop and get gas, and the Battleship South Dakota Memorial. Go ahead and share some of those photos. There we go. So this is it's actually a pair of their 5-inch 58 dual purpose guns that were paired in turrets on either side. Scala, you're right. There is not a lot in South Dakota. In
Crazy
the east
Horse.
side, what's that?
Crazy Horse, Custer, Wall Drug.
Mount Rushmore and this.
Yeah, that's about it.
And a shit ton of prairie dogs.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is one of the 5-inch 38s. And that's one of the rounds. This is a little right there in front of the pair of 5-inch guns. They've got this compass rose with a brass medallion. USS South Dakota BB-57, 42 to 47. She was only in service for 5 years. And when you're standing in front of the memorial, the building that is representative of the superstructure, you're looking south. So that's why it looks like it's upside down, because north is behind you. Let's see here. Oh, there's a close-up view of that medallion. Why are you taking so long? Oh, come on. Damn it. All right, technical difficulties here. There we go. That is one of the 16-inch AP shells. It's inert, you can tell because it's blue. And in the background, you can see one of the 16-inch guns one of the big brass screws, the tip of the 5-inch gun mount. To give you size perspective, my wife is about 5'5", 5'6". So, yeah, it's a big shell. Weighs about the same as a VW Beetle. This is she had 13 battle stars by the end of World War II. And this is all of her travels. And major operations. She was in the Battle of Santa Cruz, Guadalcanal battle, Gilbert Islands, Marshall Islands, Asiatic Pacific raids, Hollandia, New Guinea, Western Carolines, Marianas, Leyte, Luzon, Iwo, Okinawa, Third Fleet operation against Japan. She was actually part of the task force that fired shells onto the main island of Japan in July of 45. And then she was at the Tokyo. She was in Tokyo Bay at the surrender. Yes, Scal, that's exactly what she said. Here's a pair of her Bofors 40 millimeter guns. She had a total of 68 40 millimeter guns and 17 quad mounts, and could fire 120 rounds per minute. So she had 11 men per quad mount. This is actual decking from South Dakota before she was decommissioned and ultimately scrapped. This is actual decking from the battleship. So that was pretty cool to step on that. That was a picture of me taking a picture of where I was to send to my dad. This was her one of her masts that had different radar and antennas coming off of it. Again, the 16-inch gun in the background. And pictures of me for my wife. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting little memorial. The inside of the building, they've got a pretty nice little museum there. Talks a lot about what happened, the different events that took place. It's free to go. It don't cost nothing. But I could have spent a lot more time there. And in fact, I was explaining to Donna how they loaded the 16-inch rifles, the naval guns. And this grandmother and grandson came up and asked, "Do you mind if we listen to what you're saying?" "Oh, no, absolutely." 10 or 15 minutes into my discussion of how these guns are loaded, and how quickly they can be fired and etc., Don says, "I hate to interrupt you, but we have got to get going." And we hadn't even been into the museum inside yet to look at the museum at all. Luckily, they had to go looking for the shirt that we ultimately bought. So while they were looking for the shirt, I took a quick spin around the museum. Definitely wanting to go back and take a little bit longer look. Nord says he's been on New Jersey, and that was an eye-opener. Standing on the bridge and just looking out, man, the size of the guns make you feel insignificant. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, I've been on North Carolina and I've been on Texas. Are the two battleships I've actually stepped foot on, and I've visited South Dakota. So I still need to get to Massachusetts, Alabama, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri. I think those are all the battleships we have left. And of course, visiting the Arizona Memorial. And then I have been on USS Lexington CV-16. Um, so
I'd
yeah,
like to go see Missouri.
what's that?
I'd like to go see Missouri.
Yeah, well, there's only two reasons why I want to go to Hawaii. One is Pearl Harbor, for obvious reasons, and two is the Big Island to see the volcanoes. I have nothing else. Well, that and get a hold of
John.
get a hold of a fresh pineapple.
Oh, thought you were going to meet up with John of Joy Wargaming.
Well, that'd be cool too, but yeah, there's nothing like really fresh fruit. Like this last weekend, we were up there with Dad, and he picked up a couple of avocados that were hard as rocks when he bought them. A week later, they were just getting to the point where we could cut them and eat them and not feel like we were chewing on leather. And he says they're good, but they're not as good as going over to Mrs. Allen's place and picking the avocado right off the tree. And there's something to be said about that. My brother Jay, when he went down to Colombia last year, he said the fresh fruit down there was amazing. He says, I liked papaya and guava okay, but down there, it was a completely different experience. So yeah, getting a fresh pineapple from Hawaii and eating it right there would be amazing. So, but yeah, all in all, it was a good trip. I thought about maybe doing a short show on Wednesday, but we have had no real stable internet to speak of up there. We Don and I ran off of my cell phone as a hotspot, and I was getting like a bar of LTE. So yeah. Oh, absolutely, Charles. I want to step foot on USS Midway because my stepdad served on USS Midway in Vietnam. He was Air Sea Rescue off of her for I think 2 tours. I think there's a whole nother story as to how he got to become Air Sea Rescue that I'll delve into later sometime. But just suffice to say that it was that or get sent to Leavenworth forever. And he did tell me that most of the time he was deployed, he was in an elevated existence. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I want to hit Midway. I've also there's a place not too far from where Texas is going to be moored in Galveston called Seawolf Park, and they've got a little destroyer escort and USS Kavala submarine there. They're not floating. They're in a not even a dry dock. They're just plopped there on land. But you can go check them out. So they're pretty cool. Actually, and I have not confirmed this, but I believe it. If the United States memorial ships were a navy, it would be one of the top 10 largest navies in the world. That's just insane to me because, I think about it, and England's got a big navy. Russia's got a big and getting smaller navy. Japan is no slouch on the navy. China, of course, has got a big navy. But yeah, it's something like the top 10. Crazy. Nord, we were really lucky. He says, I got bit like it was going out of style yesterday. Damn bug bites itching like crazy. We were real lucky with that high wind coming out of anywhere from the northwest all the way through the west into from the southwest. It was strong enough to blow all the mosquitoes back into the forest. So we really didn't have. I killed more mosquitoes in my car on Monday at the grain mill, the feed mill, than I saw the entire time I was up at the lake. Which is nuts because normally you got mosquitoes the size of my 1/300 scale airplanes buzzing around, the squirrels breaking out the ack-ack. What you really have to watch out with up there, though, even in a windy day, are the deer flies and the horse flies.
Mm-hmm.
Those horse flies, if they tag you, man, they are taking out a chunk and leaving blood. Man,
we got attacked by horseflies on our overnight backpacking trip.
I mean, like the size of the end of my pinky here.
Mm-hmm.
Those horse flies are literally murder.
It was preferable, if you saw one on somebody, it was preferable to take your hand and smash into them as hard as you could to be getting.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I would rather get my back that has been sun-baked for 3 days than get bit by one of those sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. Just awful. So, talked about Viking boats, Viking ships. We talked about USS South Dakota. Really cool. Guys, I know there's not a lot to go see in South Dakota. But if you just happen to be driving through Sioux Falls, South Dakota, for whatever reason, stop in and see the memorial. They've actually got it. They've got the gunnels of the ship outlined in cement. Let me hold on here. Oh, maps, how you taunt me. I pull up the application maps and it shows me where my lake cabin is. All right, so let me do this. And it's right off of I-29. Not too far off the beaten path, as it were. Oh, where are you? Where are you? There you are. Nice, Cal. He says January 2022, Russia's second greatest military in the world. March 2022, Russia's second greatest military in Ukraine. August 2024, Russia's second greatest military in Russia. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So, okay, here we go. One last share. Why am I not seeing what I want to see? Oh, there we are. So there you go. That is that this is the outline of South Dakota to scale. So pretty cool. There's gives you an idea of how big those 16-inch guns are. This is actually the left gun from turret number 3. They salvaged it. And then here is one of the 4 propellers, screws from it. And then right here is where those 5-inch guns are. So, and right in here is the little museum and gift shop. And like I said, it's not great. It's nothing amazing. It's not as cool as getting to actually step foot on the ship, unfortunately, because she did get scrapped. But nonetheless, it's pretty cool. Oh, they actually have one of the anchors also up in the very front in the bow. So, but yeah, if you ever get the chance, head on up and check it out. So, I can't remember if I had showed these last time we were on. My 1/2400 scale. What's that?
Nord asked, why does the ship look like one of those pregnancy indicator thingies?
Hey, you know, it's...
Because when those boys got home, they needed a lot of those.
Yeah. There's a reason why they're called the baby boomers. So, my brother and I have been working on a ship game using 1/2400 scale Star Trek ships. Of course, here's Enterprise. And here is Reliant. They're printing up pretty nicely, I think. And then the next two are actually FASA designs. This is one of my favorites. The Andor class. And then, I'm sorry, that's not the Andor, it's Northampton class. And then this is the Chandley class. So we're coming up with some rules to be able to play, because we played the FASA game back in the 80s, had a lot of fun with it, but it's a little for a convention game, it's a little what's the word I'm looking for? Rules heavy.
Crunchy?
Yeah, it's a little crunchy. So we definitely want something want to get something that plays a little better on the convention table. Now, we've done full thrust light with Star Trek ships before, and that was fun. But there was something about the FASA game that you had power allocation to deal with, and that was what becomes your friction, your battle friction, because you never had enough power to power everything. You could either fully you could either fully power your shields and have weaker phasers, or you could fully power your phasers but have weaker shields, or you could fully power both but not be able to maneuver as much. And so we're wanting to get a balance of being able to have that friction without looking at, okay, I've got two warp engines that are FW ones that have 16 power points per engine, and I can then apply 10 points to phasers. That was cool when it was just like Jay Copeland, another one of the guys that we hung out with, and me playing. But at a convention, and we had all day to play it. But at a convention, we're going to have what, 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. You got to be able to get in there, explain the game, and get going, right? So we're working on coming up with something, taking bits and parts and pieces from different games, because that's what you do.
What about what?
We want something a little more determinative.
Oh no, I'm not saying roll the dice. I'm saying, but have the different systems like what a tanker, and maybe
Yeah, it's going to be similar to that, and we're actually going to use cards, a card activation type of a system, where you can choose where your cards go, whether they go into, they can either go into combat, they can go into maneuver, or they can go into other. And you will then choose. Then we do it fistful of lead style, kings, queens, etc. And when you play a king, let's say I've got a king and you got a king, but my king of spades goes before your king of spades. Well, my king of spades, I put, and this is done prior to the start of the turn, I've put that king of spades into a combat slot.
Mm-hmm.
So I can shoot phasers, or I can shoot torpedoes, or I can, if I've got the complement, I can beam over, and your shields are down, I can beam over Marines for boarding action. Then your king comes up. Well, I've already done whatever I'm going to do to you. So if you had, let's say you had raised shields and your shields weren't up yet, you can raise shields, but the damage I've already done is already done. Or you're hoping to be able to maneuver out of my arc of fire, but I shot you before you were able to move. So, and again, you're not going to be able, because you're only going to get like 5 cards, you're not going to be able to do everything you want to do with only having 5 cards. Right. Because like bigger battleships, bigger like the Excelsior type ship, might need 2 cards to actually maneuver. So you can put a king and a 10 in there. Well, you're not going until that 10, and both of those cards are used. So, Nord says, I picked up a naval game you may be interested in. I finally found a copy of Blue Cross White Ensign for Flying Colors, the Imperial Russian Navy and the Age of Sail. Oh, very cool. I have played Flying Colors once. I thought it was pretty cool. I would like to get a hold of it, but we'll see. I honestly I don't know if Little Big Wars had a copy of it or not. I think I saw something for Flying Colors up there. I'm not sure which. Hey, Kat, how you doing, buddy? But let me jump back to Little Big Wars. Steve's got a nice store up there. It's actually an old convenience store from what it looked like. Maybe a little bit bigger than a convenience store, almost like a the size of a small grocery store. And when I mean small, I mean like small town grocery store, small, uh, or like a big Casey's. Um, but he's got he's got your standard Games Workshop stuff. He's got your standard. Uh, um, what's the other? Not Games Workshop.
Warlord.
Yeah, he's got Warlord stuff. He's got, I think, some Privateer Press in there. Your standard miniature, big name miniature games, right? But he's also got quite a decent selection of Hex and Counter games. Also, like I said, uh, I picked up these 2 decision games. He's got a rack full of these. Uh, not the full range, mind you, but a pretty good selection. Like I said, they're priced right at the same if you go to their website. So it's pretty cool. And then he's got a gaming area that's got, I think, 6 or 8 6 foot by 4 foot gaming tables. Let me check on that for you, Nord. I think he does. Yeah, it looks like it. Let me just take a look at one thing here. Now, it doesn't look like he's got everything on his didn't look like he's got everything on the web store. But it does look like he's got quite a bit of stuff. He carries Mantic games. Let's see here. Yeah, add to cart. Yeah, so yes, he does have a website with able to order, and it is littlebigwars.com. So yeah, if you're looking to order something online and you want to do some business with somebody that you know, or at least have a passing acquaintance with, check out to see if he's got it and got it in stock. I'm not going to say he does or doesn't, but his website will let you know whether it's sold out or not. And from all accounts, he's a pretty good dude. His employees seem to be genuinely willing to answer questions and help out, and so yeah, they seem to be they did not seem to be grumbly types that didn't like who they were working for. So, and helping out a small home-owned business in Fargo, North Dakota, is a pretty good way to go, because I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot going on in Fargo. Like I said, but if it didn't get down to -40 at the drop of a hat, I would seriously consider living up in that direction if I could find a job, because it's If I lived in Fargo, I'd only be an hour and 15 minutes away from my lake cabin.
That's spend every weekend there kind of distance.
Instead of 12 hours. Bug bites are going to drive me more insane than I already am. My friend, you need to find calamine lotion. Calamine lotion, and honestly, either Benadryl or Zyrtec. Zyrtec if you don't want to fall asleep, Benadryl if you want to knock yourself out.
And you can get topical Benadryl now in a cream.
Oh, you can. There you go. Even better. Won't knock your ass out in the ground like it does me. It's really weird. A lot of things don't affect me, like sleep wise. Like I can drink caffeine just before going to bed and be asleep in no time. But even Tylenol PM doesn't really knock me out. It does help me relax and get to sleep. But Benadryl will kick my ass 2 ways to Sunday. And if I take it later than 9 p.m., I'm going to be groggy the next day until about noon.
I
It's just
got some stories for not live broadcast on things I've done.
Yeah, because I was suffering bad from really bad hay fever down in Austin, and I took some Benadryl before I went to work. I was like at 6 a.m. and I got to work and I was like this. But yeah, Nord, trust me. Apparently, topical Benadryl cream is a good way to go. Because really, what you're wanting to do is with bug bites, you're wanting to block the histamines that are getting fired up by the venom that is being injected into you by those old bastards. It's not really a venom. It's for mosquitoes. It's an anticoagulant that reacts poorly. The histamine gets its dander all up. So maybe I can carve out the bug bites. Yeah, you don't want to do that, man. Nah, you're all good. So, but yeah, it was a good weekend. Last time or good week. Last time we were up there was 9 years ago, and that was just far too long. Far too long. Because I used to go up there every summer for the entire summer, almost 3 full months. Every year from 76 to 80, and then even numbered years from 80 to 88. The odd numbered years were my brother's years to go up. And then after 88, it was 5 or 6 years before I went up again. And then went up again. So I was like 92 or 93. And then again went up in 2000. And then I think 2004 or 5. And then 2010 or 11. So yeah, this 9 year span was the longest it's been since I've been up to the lake. Since I started going. The slap technique. Now I don't like that because it causes pain, man. I don't like pain. 80 grit sandpaper. I'm about to use 80 grit sandpaper on my back because I am actually to the point where I'm past itching because most of the skin has peeled away. But I was about to get Wednesday and Thursday. I was about to get uh, 80 grit paper and an angle grinder and just have Donna go to town on me. Oh
Get
man.
Get a some sort of body scrub or something with some abrasive in it. It'll take it right off.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, pain causes endorphins. You know what also causes endorphins? Chocolate. Just saying. There's other ways to get endorphins than pain. Thank you, Makita Saad. So, well, guys, I am fairly talked out. Did you want to add anything tonight, Reese? What have you been working on?
still working on that little bird.
Yeah.
Having to change the color because I have misplaced the green that I was using. And
It
I can't
happens.
find it, so I'd get to repaint the whole bird, but it'll be all right.
There you go.
And work on the crew for that. Going to use them as a test to see what color looks best on a helicopter crew, so that our crashed helicopter crew for Tacticon looks their best.
Yes.
I have that coming in. I have the cheap Huey kit that I'm going to destroy to make the crashed Huey coming in.
Cool.
And in the process of getting my resin printer set up to print the extra Marines that I'm going to need for that too. So I may need some help setting up a resin printer, but we'll figure it out.
I can help you out. Actually, Hissy Cat, that wouldn't be Home Depot. That's going to be O'Reilly Auto Parts for the 1957 end door fins. Yes,
All day,
1950s
folks.
fins are cool, but you wouldn't get them at Home Depot. You would get them at O'Reilly Auto Parts or Advanced Auto Parts or Napa Auto Parts, one of your major auto parts companies. So, but I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night, guys.
Sounds good.
I am. Oh, another ship related thing. I did take the Hunters with me while I was up there, and started in a 9 type 9. I don't remember the letter. I think it was a type 9C. And got all the way. I'm all the way up to December 40. January 42. December 42. I think January 42. And got about 170,000 or so tons sunk so far. 31,000 tons of that came in a single ship sunk. I sunk battleship Malaya. Popped 4 torpedoes into her. 2 were duds, but I rolled a 4 and a. No, I rolled a 1 and a 2, which did a total of 7 points of damage, and you only need 5 to sink her.
There you
go. But man, so what I had been doing was rolling the to hit roll and the dud roll at the same time, because you get 2 white dice and a black die. and I was using the black die as the dead roll, but I was getting an inordinate number of high dud rolls rolling like that. Like in the years that I was running them, it should have only been a 33% chance, but each mission I was getting like 50% duds. So I went back to just rolling the hits. So like I would send out 4 torpedoes on a tanker that was sitting at 10,000 tons um, or more, and so I would roll the 4 to hits, and if they hit, I would then roll a dud roll, and it got much better for me. So I only had one failed sortie so far, and it was because I had a aircraft attack in the first transit box, and it did enough damage to me. Well, it damaged my fuel tanks, my fuel tanks. So because I wasn't able to stop the flooding on the fuel tanks, I had to abort. So,
Yikes.
yeah, I want to get a hold of Silent Victory because it's the American subs going up against the Japanese.
Yes.
And I think it is back on P500. So, yeah, I want to.
That'd be a fun one to do.
I want to get a hold of it. I don't want to do the hunted, just because it's you're rolling every time you think about making an attack, no matter what the distance is, you're having to roll for escort spotting you. Same with the Mediterranean, under the Med or Med Seas or whatever the hell it's called, because you can't dive deep to avoid. So it just doesn't sound fun. But I do want to get Silent Victory. So
that'd be a fun one. That's a campaign we don't talk about too much anymore either.
What's that? Which one?
The U.S. campaign against Japan with submarines.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were fairly devastating, because we decided early on, with the limited number of subs we had to start in the Pacific, we decided to go after their freighters and their tankers instead of their capital ships. They kept going after our capital ships.
We can build more of those if we have the freighters coming in.
So, all right, guys. We're an hour 23 in. I think that's a good amount of time. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. Mike, Scala, Hissy, you're late, but that's okay. Nord, thanks for dropping in. Ashley, Greg, thanks for popping in. We had McMurray and Hexy for a little while. Thanks, guys, for joining. Sometime I'll share the South Dakota photos with you there, McMurray. So, all right. As always. Oh, and Walkabout. I saw you come in, but I didn't mention it. Thanks for dropping in, Chris. It's always a pleasure to have you along. Thanks as always, Telemachus. You guys are the greatest. You really, really are. So until next time, we will see you on the flip side.